If you wonder who is to blame for my beautiful round shape, it's my grandmother. You see, Polish grandmothers are somewhat like Italian grandmothers. When they say, "Come over for a simple lunch," it means it's never simple, and there's at least 25 dishes on the table, and you look so poorly, you need to eat much, much more. So every summer vacation, every winter break, my parents would drop me at my grandparents' house. And of course, my grandmother was always preoccupied by how poorly I look. Clearly, my mom doesn't feed me well enough. So in these several weeks every year, she would try to catch up for how bad I was looking, feeding me pounds and pounds of Polish deliciousness. Hence, if you want to blame anyone, blame my grandma Veronica. I still do, to be honest. Now, on the other hand, once a year, I would also be dropped off at a different location at my mother's sister Elizabeth in Warsaw. You see, Elizabeth in our family is known to be the lady of the society. She was the only one in the family that went to college. She got her PhD. She became economics professor at the university. So my parents thought I should get some culture once a year and spend a week with my auntie Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth is a total opposite of my grandma Veronica. While grandma Veronica would let me eat with my fingers until I was about to explode, my auntie Elizabeth was teaching me how to set the silverware, plates, which glasses go with which drinks, and to make things worse, when I was a baby, they would make me put books under my arms so I don't spread my wings too wide as I eat. At the end of the exercise, I would have to put a book on my head as well to eat with my head being straight, not bending back and forth. This was the kind of an auntie I don't wish upon anyone, but she did teach me some culture, sophistication. We would go to the opera, to movies, to theater, dramas, and if you want to blame someone for me being somewhat stiff, that's Auntie Elizabeth. So now you know my family's history, who is to blame for what. I am chubby because of my grandma Veronica, and I am somewhat stiff because of my Auntie Elizabeth. It's good to have diverse influence in your life, isn't it? It's good to have someone who will love you no matter how fat you are, no matter how lazy you are, no matter how unput together you are. On the other hand, it's good to have someone to tell you which fork goes with which meat and which spoon goes with which dessert, etc., etc. I'm truly grateful for both of these powerful women influencing my life. It usually happens in many people's lives that we experience such diverse influence, even in the stories from the Bible that we listen to today. We heard of two very opposite couples. One is Abraham and Sarah, and the other is Martha and Mary. Abraham is like my grandma. When he saw guests coming by, He was overcome with joy and said, let's cook and have party. When Abraham noticed that people are coming to visit, he would focus immediately on what to eat, what to cook, how to serve, how to make everyone chubby and happy. This is Abraham, aka my grandma Veronica. Now, Abraham's wife, Sarah, isn't like that. She's sitting away in the tent and thinking to herself, oh, my good old Abraham, he's going crazy again. He doesn't know how to keep his well behavior on display. He's acting like a simple man from a village, and he forgot we are now in a civilized territory. We have to behave like civilized people. So she is not engaging too much with these three strangers. Again, we have two opposites in our first reading. In the gospel text, we have a very similar situation. Martha, aka Grandma Veronica, is busy cooking, serving, making sure that the table is bending under the dishes to be served. Mary, on the other hand, decided to listen to the lecture given by Jesus Christ, PhD. So she's listening and enjoying herself. Which one is more important? Which one is better? Which one is worse? Probably none. Because as I look back at my life, I am truly grateful for my very stiff Auntie Elizabeth teaching me some basic culture and civilization stuff. And I am even more grateful for my Grandma Veronica, who loved me beyond anything in her life until the day she passed away. Should we think that what Martha is doing is less important and what Mary is doing is the sacred, holy thing to do? Some people do. I am not so convinced about that. You see, to be truly human, to be truly Christian, we need to combine in our lives both Veronica and Elizabeth, Abraham and Sarah, Martha and Mary. We don't need to choose between one or the other. Now, on individual way, most of us probably will be more like one or the other. But the point is to be able to appreciate and recognize the input and value of all kinds of influences in your life. As people of faith, we need to be active. We need to sometimes cook, sometimes clean, sometimes sing our hearts out. And on the other occasions, we need to find time to be quiet, to sit and listen, to allow ourselves a moment of silence. We need to be pigging out once in a while on Thanksgiving and other occasions, and once in a while we should be fasting, like Good Friday, Ash Wednesday, or maybe Fridays in Lent. We don't need to choose between this or the other. We are living in a society that tells us you can't be both. You have to choose your party. You have to choose right or left, blue or red. Whereas in real life, most of the time, we are somewhere oscillating between those polars. Think of your own childhood, of your own younger years. Think of the people that influenced your life, that were your perhaps grandparents, your neighbors, your friends. Be grateful for them Even if as a child you were cursing all the things they were doing to you or making you do yourself. Because, to be honest, we need Martha in our life, and we need Mary as well. Amen.